Right, so just on the A14 at the minute, and hopefully you can make it out on the right hand side. Got an enormous Back British farming protest on the go. I've tried really hard to turn back, but it's impossible, more or less impossible, even using country roads. Yeah, just got the back end of it there. I might as well cover it actually quickly, but if you think Saturday I've just been to what I'll call the Patriots protest. You know, this is obviously the backlog of the traffic, by the way, behind all the tractors. Obviously to do with the inheritance tax. But if you think back to Saturday, you know, I was there photographing and filming the Patriots protest down in London. Obviously, a lot of them people got concerns about mass immigration, which no one voted for or asked for. So basically, the wanting the borders tightened up, controlled, as any sensible person would do. I can guarantee all these politicians probably have gated fences around their houses, or at least have good security around them, so they control the borders to their houses or their property. Now, with that, of course, you've got that protest, and then today's Monday, you know, on the A14 in Suffolk, around Bury St Edmunds, and you've got a big protest to do with farming, again to do with the inheritance tax and the pressures on farmers. Now, does that not seem a little bit to you like there's more or less like a war? You know, like the government's more or less at war with its own citizens. There's no one else seem to think that at the minute. You know, within the space of 2-3 days, all around the southeast, admittedly, you know, but it's going on all across the country. There's a real resentment building up against the political establishment, shall we say, and that's before you even get onto all the hotels, you know, the migrant hotels, whatever you want to call them. You know, so just generally to get to the point, Lib-Labcom, you know, Lib Dems, Labour, Conservatives, they're all the same pile of shit, aren't they? When you get down to it, they just change ties. I mean, Conservatives are the worst out of the lot because they obviously pretend to be conservative. They put themselves out there as the party that will go against Labour, but in reality, actions speak louder than words. The migrant hotels were set up under the Conservatives, and you know, the last leader, shall we call him, Rishi Sunak, you know, an Indian lad. There's always people up on the bridge at the minute. I'm so gutted I couldn't photograph it. I really am. I'm absolutely gutted. I'm tempted to go up on that. I've got to get back to work though, that's the thing. Ah, what a pain. But yeah, Lib Dems, Labour, Conservative, you know, it's all the same shower of shit, isn't it? Got to get rid of all them three political parties. It would not take much to fix this country, you know. You know, the infrastructure's still there. It just takes the right leadership and the right political party to do it. While I'm also thinking about it as well, these demonstrations don't really achieve that much, in all fairness, do they? You know, it's better than nothing, I'll give it that. But the demonstrations, the protests, you know, they don't really achieve that much, but it's certainly better than nothing. But without kicking these fuckers out at the ballot box, it doesn't really get us anywhere. You know, it's a difficult one because is politics real? Does it really work? Well, maybe it does, because look at the Brexit thing with the EU. You know, I mean, with the right leadership, Brexit could have worked perfectly. But the problem is, Conservatives, Labour, Lib Dems, and Boris Johnson and all that lot who claim to be on the side of Brexit, they made a deliberate mess of it, I think, in my opinion. Was Theresa May not a Remainer? So we had a Remainer sort of running the Conservative Party in the aftermath of Brexit. So no wonder it got messed up and sabotaged, because they didn't want it to succeed. You know, they want us in the European Union because it's all about this globalist utopia they've got planned, where they can essentially suck us all into, you know, like a big global government, which is what they dream of, really. But yeah, I'm going a bit off on one, so I'll call it a day there. I've said my point, and also it covers the Suffolk A14 protest as I say, I'm absolutely gutted. It just didn't work out right, the timing. But we're gonna have to start following a few Facebook pages, I think, because I'd love to photograph and document one of these protests. It's an interesting time in history we're in. You know, people will look back on this in the future and see sort of this interesting period of time, you know, that we're in, where we've literally got like a war between the government and the ordinary people, you know, that it's meant to serve. They literally seem to be at war, particularly with the white working class and even the white middle class, you know, with the farmers. But it's all good, you know. I mean, it's building resentment in the country, and that can only be a good thing, can't it? So I think I'll knock it on the head there before I ramble anymore. So cheers. And this is just coming back into Colchester. I've got something to drop off, and then I'm on the move again. Funnily enough, to the front left of me, you won't be able to see it. There's a couple of Muslims. You never in all their gear as well. Never used to see that. Just by one of them vape stores, which I think was like a candy store not so long ago. But anyway, it came across my mind just then, and I guarantee I'll forget it if I don't record this. So Labour logic, or well, particularly like Labour voting logic. I'm not on about the political party as such. I'm more on about the ordinary person that votes for Labour, or the people on the Free Palestine marches, the LBC wankers, all them sort of people. Whether genuine and sincere or not, this is just something that came into my mind. So, and it links in with the two protests I mentioned. The one down in London, you know, with the Patriots protests against mass immigration, and the farmers just going past then on the A14. So, Labour voting logic, right? You want to bring in pretty much everybody. Just leave the borders wide open. Everyone comes in. We've got about 1 million people coming here per year, which is obviously extremely unsustainable and can only go on for so long. Added into that, you also want to attack the farmers. So we've got more mouths to feed and less food to give out because you're attacking the farmers. So what kind of logic is that? You know, more people, if you were a family, say for example, now you're just about sustaining it with 2 kids, you know, feeding your family. But then what you decide to do is have a load more kids and also foster and adopt some others as well. But you remain on the same income. You've got the same amount of food coming in. So it's totally unsustainable, isn't it? Again, just lefty logic for you. But yeah, I've got it out there just while I'm thinking about it.